the weaver of empty promises. On the edge of the ancient kingdom of Rynmar, among the hills wrapped in morning mist, stood a modest village called Rynmar. It was not rich nor poor, just a place where people lived through work, harvest, and prayer. And in that village lived 3 childhood friends, Marek, Adrian, and Selena. Marek, the eldest, was the son of a blacksmith. His hands were broad and scarred, his body strong, but his heart often carried a strange weight, as if the hammering of iron was also hammering at his own dreams. He longed for more than simple work, though he never admitted it out loud. Adrian was different, lean, quick, with restless eyes. His father had been a trader who vanished during a journey, and since then Adrian's life became a chase after shortcuts, schemes, tricks, ways to earn without toil. He loved to speak of wealth, of gold caravans, of noble titles, though he owned nothing more than patched boots. Selena, the third in their circle, was the daughter of a poor healer. She had calmness in her voice, a patience in her eyes. While the boys dreamed of power and riches, she dreamed of balance, of keeping her little herb garden alive, of helping others, of quiet evenings. They grew together, but as the years stretched, their paths slowly diverged. One day, while the harvest festival approached, a stranger arrived in Rynmar. His cloak was trimmed with silver thread, and his tongue dripped with honeyed words. He called himself Lord Everick, though no one knew from which land he came. He spoke loudly in the village square. Why break your backs in the fields? Why sweat under the sun for grains when treasures sleep beneath the earth? I have knowledge of such a place, a hidden trove of silver veins in the eastern cliffs, but I cannot claim it alone. Those bold enough to join me will share its wealth. The crowd stirred. Farmers shook their heads, too wise to trust a wanderer. But Adrian's eyes burned bright. Silver veins, hidden troves, why not me? He stepped forward, while Marek stayed behind, his face shadowed with doubt. Selena whispered to him, "Beware of words that shine too brightly. They may hide a trap." But Adrian laughed. "Selena, you'll see. I will return with gold enough to buy this whole village." The next morning Adrian left with Lord Everick. Marek watched from the forge doorway, torn between loyalty and caution. Selena stood with folded hands, whispering a prayer that Adrian's greed would not consume him. Days passed, then weeks. When Adrian returned, his face was not the triumphant mask of a wealthy man, but pale, gaunt, and twisted with anger. His clothes were torn, his pockets empty. He staggered to the village square and shouted, "Everick tricked me. He promised silver, but led me into a cave of shadows. There was nothing but hunger, darkness, and endless digging. He left me there a fool chasing dust." The villagers muttered. Some pitied him, others scorned him. Marek brought him food. Selena healed his blistered hands. But Adrian's heart carried no gratitude, only bitterness. "You work your whole lives for scraps," he sneered. "I almost had more than all of you." Time passed, but Adrian did not change. His thirst for shortcuts grew. Again and again, he chased wandering promises, a caravan of false traders, a gambler from the city, even a peddler with a map to jewels. Each time he lost more, his savings, his strength, his friends' trust. Marek worked in silence, repairing plows, forging nails, keeping the village alive. Selena tended the sick, growing thin from sleepless nights. And Adrian, though empty-handed, still boasted of how close he had been to riches. But one winter, hunger struck Rynmar. The harvest had been weak, the snow cruel. Families shared crumbs, and Marek worked night after night, forging tools to trade for food. Selena walked barefoot in the snow, gathering herbs to heal the coughing children. Adrian, however, vanished. Rumors said he went to seek Everick again. Weeks later, when the snow began to melt, Adrian stumbled back. But this time, he was not only poor, he was broken. His eyes hollow, his steps unsteady. He confessed in whispers. I followed him again, he promised again, but each time it was only my labor he wanted. I dug, I bled, and in the end, nothing. He fed me with lies, and I fed him with my strength. Silence filled the room. Then Selena spoke. Adrian, can you not see? The only treasure he ever sought was your foolishness. For the first time, Adrian wept. He saw the scars on Marek's hands, the hollowness in Selena's cheeks, and he knew they had carried weight while I had only chased shadows. From that day on, Adrian stayed. He rose at dawn with Marek, worked in the fields, carried water, mended roofs. His pride bled out of him, but in its place grew something steadier, humility. And though Rynmar never found veins of silver, it found something brighter. The brothers of spirit, Marek, Adrian, and Selena, worked together, and the village endured. Moral, in the end, Adrian learned what his friends had always known. Not without effort do you pull even a fish from the pond. Shortcuts lead only to shadows. Thank you for your attention. If you like this story, please like and subscribe. It motivates us to make new videos and helps us promote the channel. Thank you.